Welcome, everyone. My name is Lori Berman. I'm Vice President of Membership and Development for the Small Business Association of Michigan. Thank you for joining us today for a special presentation of keeping your business top of mind like a shark. And we have a special guest that's recorded a message for you today. This is brought to you by Effective. Effective has been a great partner of small businesses across the state of Michigan. They've worked with us on our SBAM Leadership Council and many other facets of marketing to small businesses across the state. Today's webinar, if you're joining us via Facebook, thank you. It will be recorded and live on Facebook. Today's webinar is also obviously being recorded on Zoom. It'll be posted on our website later on if you wish to share this with someone else. So without further ado, if you have questions, please use the question and answer function. And I ask that you keep your questions related to today's program. If you have other questions that SBAM could assist you with, please send those to sbam@sbam.org. Now, let's introduce Troy Harker. Troy is Vice President of Sales at Effective. His territories include parts of Michigan, Indiana, and he works specifically with small and medium-sized businesses. So Troy, I will let you say hello. Welcome, Troy.
Oh,
Glad to have you. Tell us
Thanks,
about
Laura.
yourself and today, what's going on?
Well, thanks for having us, first and foremost. It's great to be here virtually with everybody today. As Lori said, my name is Troy Harker. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Effective, which formerly was known as Comcast Spotlight, but we're the ad sales division of Comcast. And we are very proud to be longtime partners with the Small Business Association of Michigan and really support their commitment to helping small businesses. We have the unique opportunity to work with thousands of small businesses, not only in Michigan, but also across the country in about 70 markets. And so we're learning all the time, and we're trying to be the best partners we can to help all of you. And this year has certainly given us many opportunities to learn and to educate ourselves even more. So to that end, we're excited today because recently our Vice President of Agency and Brand Relationships, James Rothwell, had an opportunity to interview the infamous Mr. Wonderful. If you're like myself, hopefully you've seen Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, who is on Shark Tank on CNBC. And it's a great message. We found this to be very powerful and specific with pieces that we I think can all use in the small business world too. So we're going to show that in just a second, pre-recorded video here, but also stick around for any questions on how we can help also after the video is over.
All right, thank you, Troy. I'm going to pull that up. Hold on just a second here. I'll get that ready for you. I will share it with everyone. And Troy and I will come back after this video plays to give you any questions or any follow-up you might have after we're done with this.
Hey everyone, I'm James Rothwell, and thank you for tuning in to today's Effective in Focus webcast. If it's your first time tuning in, know that we're bringing you new content every 2 weeks relevant to this moment in time. To be notified of upcoming episodes, please follow the link in the bottom of your screen to subscribe. I'm very excited about this episode. It features our highest profile guest to date and is focused on keeping your business top of mind like a shark.
Stop the madness.
There's only one Mr. Wonderful.
You are going to get crushed.
And only one Shark Tank.
And that is how you do a deal.
Shark Tank. Watch on TV or on demand. CNBC. Get yours.
Now, you know him from the critically acclaimed, award-winning TV show Shark Tank as a straight-talking investor who gives entrepreneurs his unvarnished opinion. Here to help businesses navigate today's choppy waters is Mr. Wonderful himself, Kevin O'Leary. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you very much, James.
First of all, how are you doing and how are you spending your days at the moment?
Well, I'm in quarantine here in Miami, not near the beach, on the beach. There's sand in the elevator where I am here. So if I'm going to be anywhere, I'm happy to look at the ocean all day. And, you know, I'm getting a lot done, as everybody else is, using technology to work with my companies, not just domestically, but globally. These are extraordinary times. Health is paramount, but business is going on in unique ways now. And I think that's as a result of having a pandemic at a time when we've had connectivity that's unprecedented.
And you've had an amazingly diverse career, and it's touched a number of areas that are important to Comcast and our advertising clients. First and foremost, obviously TV, but also marketing, technology, and giving small businesses the investment and guidance they need to be successful. Given the sudden changes we're all experiencing, what's been the biggest impact for you personally in terms of the way that you're doing business?
Well, the most traumatic impact for the average, business, and I do a lot of investing in a wide array of sectors, but it's been the collapse of the retail channel, because I don't care what country you're in, retail is down in some cases 100%. And I've got many companies that the typical distribution channel might look like 50% was in retail, maybe 40% with Amazon, which is definitely true for domestic companies, and 10% direct to their customers. And that's a typical profile. Now, when all of a sudden you go from a robust, growing retail distribution channel to zero, and it's half your business, that puts significant challenges on a company. And some have done very well pivoting, and others have not. And obviously, if you're in food services to restaurants, or you're in entertainment or in sports entertainment, it's extremely difficult. And I've got exposure to all those sectors, so I see the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's happened. But at the same time, I've got, every day I have a series of very difficult conversations I've got to have with companies that it's not sure they're going to make it. On the other hand, I have euphoric outcomes of companies that have figured out how to pivot, use different technologies, and are now selling direct to customers. And sales are up 400% because they're in a product category like detergents or sanitization products or gift cards or something that is triggered growth as a result of being in a pandemic society with retail shut down. And so I'm an optimist always, but this is a time to be strategic and understand that during the next, let's call it 6, 12, maybe 18 months, it's going to be a little challenging if you're just relying on retail. And we will emerge as America 2.0 with a different tonality on how we're going to deal with customers.
So you talked about a little bit about those categories, some of which have actually benefited from this moment, others that are struggling or are trying to maybe reprioritize. Maybe you could give a couple of examples of some of those good news stories, and maybe those that have had to shift their creative messaging due to a downturn in demand or reprioritize their business altogether.
Well, obviously, the distribution channels have changed dramatically. Retail has collapsed or gone to very fractional, tiny amounts for most of my companies because retailers are closed right now. And so they are relying on direct to customer messaging. And I'll give you some examples of ones that had very large components of retail that have had to significantly change. This is a good example. This is Love Pop greeting cards. They make very beautiful laser cut cards. The manufacturing is done in Vietnam, and we have one of the largest laser farms there. It's the size of a football field. They're designed here in the US, in Boston, and we cut them there and then ship them here. But here's the thing about greeting cards. By the way, this is America's fastest growing greeting card company. It's an emotional purchase, generally done half the time in retail, where people peruse the cards for a birthday, for a holiday, whatever it is, find a card they like, purchase it. It's an impulse purchase. Now, all of a sudden, and we have very expensive retail space, including Hudson Yards, which is the most expensive real estate in the world. You can't pay more than that. At the bottom of the escalator, you'll see my Love Pop card store. And that's one of the most successful stores we've got. But we also have them in all the high traffic malls around America. That distribution channel shut down. So we had to pivot. So what we did was we took advantage of the fact that we're able to quickly design new cards. When a major holiday like a Mother's Day came around, we were able to say, well, wait a sec, flowers are going to be very hard to buy because the flower distribution centers are shut down right now due to the virus. Maybe we can design not a greeting card, but actual flowers that are laser cut. Here they are. And as a result, we sold millions of dollars of these by just letting people know direct to our customers that they were available for a special holiday. And it worked. And in fact, replaced almost the majority of what we've lost in retail. And so we're developing that channel. We'll go back to retail when we can, but right now we want to speak directly to our customers and sell them unique offerings. I mean, my goodness, these things are absolutely beautiful. I mean, I look at them and say to myself, this is fantastic that they can move so quickly. Here's another example. This is a product, another company that really had to pivot the majority of its sales. This is the world's only fingerprint lock with a key as well. It's a patent by a company called BenchiLock, another Shark Tank company. This is a remarkable product manufactured in China for an American company. I just used my finger to open that. We're obviously thinking of moving our manufacturing a little bit for various reasons, but this is a retail product. So we created a commercial online and we reached out directly to our customers saying, look, we're going to, and we use television as well for this one. It's not just that you have to use only digital in social media. You can use television as well. And our most successful television buy, this is Blueland. This is an incredible company that has digitized, or should I say crystallized, detergent and cleaning fluids. That is what you buy instead of a 2-pound plastic bottle full of water and detergent. You get this and you drop it into this reusable bottle. And our plan was obviously to roll this out in retail where the majority of cleaning fluids are purchased. But we don't have that option anymore. So what did we do? Produce a commercial and ran it on cable. And it was phenomenally successful for us because we were able to geo-lock the offerings at different price points and test them in different markets, which you can do with cable, which is fantastic, and determine which of the messages work best. Did our 15-second one work best? Did our 30 work best? Did our 45-second message work best? And within those, we had different messages. The great thing about television is test, 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 then test some more, and while you're at it, do some more testing. And when you figure out what works, pour the gasoline on the message that worked, and go national if you wish. It's fantastic because your audience has never been bigger. It's never, ever been more captive. It's never, ever wanted more information than it does now, not less. And as a result, our customer acquisition cost of this product went down and our sales went up without any retail sales.
I think that importance of going direct to consumers, you talked about it a number of times. You mentioned it just now. I think we've seen also evidence of where brands have been able to use television to launch those brands and make those connections directly with consumers. It's been very, very successful. In fact, the Video Advertising Bureau just came out with a study that showed 39 different direct-to-consumer brands saw an average of over 85% lift in their website traffic when they launched that first TV campaign. So obviously the importance of television to get their message out, to make people aware of their brand, but obviously in this moment, offer them something unique and something that will meet their needs in this kind of unique time. So I guess, what do you see as the keys to success in this kind of digital retailing moment?
Well, I've been living it daily, and I'll tell you what's working. First of all, you think about how unprecedented these times are. We've never had these many people sitting at home before looking for content of all kinds. And what we found as companies, particularly in consumer goods and services, is we've had to change our messaging a little bit. I'll give you some examples. In the old days, before pandemic, when we would do a commercial, maybe we went on cable, maybe we did digital, maybe we did both, we would be very, very happy with a 1.5% to 2.5% response rate. So if we went out to 1 million people and we got 2.5% of the response, we were ecstatic. And that would be a great outcome. Now, during this period, and this is stunning, I mean, it's just, I've never seen anything like it. I'm not talking about acquiring new customers now. I'm talking about going back to the existing customer base that's already familiar with the brand, the product, and the service, and reaching out to them with offers like buy two, get one free, or being very honest with them and saying, look, we are struggling here to stay alive, to service you, to keep our customer service up to the standards you've become used to over the years. Because most of my companies, I insist, stay in the top quartile in customer service. That is the metric by which I run all my businesses. That's paramount. So communicating with customers really matters. But when we start making offers like that, we've had experiences of 14, 15, 16, 17% returns. Unprecedented, unbelievable. And what we're beginning to realize is our customers care about us. There's an emotional connection. It's almost like wartime, because it is wartime in a sense. And so they have an emotional connection with the brand, emotional connection with the company. We don't BS them, and you know what I mean. We tell them the truth. And we're finding the truth is a really powerful connection to a customer, and we make promises about the future and how we're going to make sure we take care of them at the highest level we possibly can, and they respond. Now, how do you do that? You use every vehicle you can, but in a time like this, when they're there, captive, waiting to hear from you or anybody, get your message out there. No wonder advertising is working. Of course it is, because people, it's the kind of advertising. Your message has to be pivoted a bit. We've experimented with a lot of different messages. This is a time to be serious, no BS at all. Ask for support and guarantee customer service, and bam, the response rates go through the roof. I've never seen anything like it before. And it's unique to the situation we're in America right now.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see which of those things stick, going forwards, and which will sort of fall away as we get used to the new normal. But
well, I know one thing that's going to stick is customer support and service. That matters. You make a promise like that, you better deliver.
Absolutely. So you've touched on this a little bit already, but with TV viewership up and captive audiences in their living room, there's a huge opportunity to obviously connect with consumers using the sight, sound, and motion of television to tell stories, to share ideas and share kind of new creative messaging for companies. How else are you advising your businesses on using TV and specifically cable TV?
Well, I'm telling them for cable, you don't have to in today's world. Everybody understands that there's all kinds of compromise. I've been shooting commercials for my companies right in this kitchen where I'm standing right now. I mean, the production costs and the ability to use digital assistants. I've got editors working in Paris, in New York, in Los Angeles, and Vietnam, working on files. I mean, we have unprecedented technology with connectivity now, and anybody can get these licenses and do this stuff together. I mean, I'm here because I have to be quarantined, but we write scripts. We shoot material, we use all kinds of graphics technology, and we get these commercials done for a very low cost. I mean, sometimes they're a matter of a few $1,000s, and they're network quality. They're 1080p or 4K if we want, and we edit them all around the world, so we're working 24 hours a day in different time zones, and whatever, and we shoot different versions, and we test them at different prices in different geographies. That's the other great thing about cable. You don't have to put it out nationally. Try a price in Florida. Check out Texas. Go to New York. What about California? Make different offers. Make 6 different commercials. It's only costing you $3,000 or $4,000. And test everything. And then you're going to find out which one works. And then pour the gasoline on that one. And we've done that multiple times. It works. It works. And it's a platform that has all of a sudden catapulted to being as powerful as social media, because people are at home watching it by the millions and millions of them. It's a unique time, but it's possible to do a lot of things now under the constraints of being under quarantine. That's my whole point.
Obviously, not every business has received financial assistance or the resources necessary to stay afloat, let alone continue marketing at this time. Maybe you could share with the audience some lower cost opportunities business owners and marketers can use to get their brand out there.
Well, first of all, you're right. Not everybody's received the PPP. And in my mix of over 50 companies, I've got about 32 of them now that have been successful, but the rest will never be, and it's just for various reasons. But at the end of the day, I'm telling them all, number one, communicate with your employees and tell them the truth about your situation. They need to hear that. I mean, that's very, very important. Employees are the DNA of a business, and we don't know if we're going to be 60, 90, 120 days. We just don't know until things normalize, and it depends on what sector you're in, obviously. I think theaters and sports arenas and restaurants are the last to come online, but there's a lot of other businesses that are doing quite well now. And then what's paramount and low cost is communicate to your customers. I mean, you got to talk to them every single day, and they're willing to listen to you. There's no, as I've talked about, the response rates have been extraordinary. And again, it's a message of honesty that matters. It's not the time to do the traditional advertisement that just talks about the merits of the product. Yes, that's important. Talk about the merits of the business and how hard you are as a business trying to make sure that your quality of customer service and care will not go down. And that is something that really resonates with customers that have grown used to it, supporting a brand, as we found. And so we're saying, look, we could really use your help right now, and we're making some extraordinary offers to you. It's not expensive to put a campaign like that together and test it and see what works. And, in many cases, we found that we've been, what matters is sometimes, I'll give you an example. I've got a company in Oklahoma that makes a very successful insecticide out of lime and citric acid. It weighs 20 pounds though. So it's very expensive to ship. And yes, we use Amazon for some of it, but we'd rather sell it direct if we could. By geo-locking our message to areas 200 miles around where we manufacture, we've been able to buy and get our own drivers to ship direct to our customers, do rings of support, using technology, using the ability to, whether you do it with cable or whether you do it with internet, geo-locking the buy so that your message is just heard where you want to service it, and picking up 30 to 40% higher gross margin by shipping direct from the factory. These are little, not tricks, these are just realities about how we have to deal, because we want to capture the whole margin during this period. We don't want to ship 20, 40, 50-pound bags of lime everywhere and lose 40% of the margin when the demand is unprecedented because everybody's at home. Let's just service our local geography for the time being.
Makes sense. You talked a lot about honesty, authenticity. You're obviously known for being a straight shooter on Shark Tank and telling entrepreneurs the truth. If you could offer one piece of advice to a small business owner today, what would it be?
Communicate with your customers. Communicate with your customers. And number 3, communicate with your customers any way you can. If you are radio silent, they will forget about you and go somewhere else during this extraordinarily challenging time. I tell all my businesses that. I ask them to send me their communications. I want to know on a weekly basis how many times they've used that touch point. What have they done? What have they done to communicate what happened this week? Because it's constantly changing. It is the key. It is absolutely the key. I don't care what sector you're in. Find a vehicle, whether it be television or social media or whatever you're going to use, but communicate with your customers. They will not forget you as long as you're reaching out to them. And that is what is going to make the difference between the winners and the losers. And that's why we're having such unprecedented response rates, as I detailed. I can't get over that. I keep using examples of great campaigns that we've been running and show to all my companies saying, what are you doing? Get off your duffs and do this. It's working.
Kevin, thank you so much for your time today and sharing these valuable insights with our audience.
Thank you, James. You asked the right questions, my friend.
That wraps up our In Focus webcast. Remember, you can get resources similar to what was shared today on effective.com/insights. On behalf of Kevin, CNBC, and the Effective team, I'm James Rothwell. Thanks for tuning in.
For small business owners, it's
Troy, there's a lot of good stuff there, that's for sure. I need to jump out of that. Hold on. Those you hear that? There we go. Well, I think it was obvious that content was important and communication. What would you like to add to those comments?
No, I think a lot of the points, obviously there's national examples there that were given aplenty, but the importance and significance of what your message is, reaching out to your customers and differentiating in a time like this is something we've certainly seen reign true across the board. And in every time of economic uncertainty or downturn, there's also an opportunity play there for business owners. And we recognize how difficult that is in certain situations. But that's what we're here for. And that's what we're here to help with every single day. And working out your plan as a small business owner, I think, has never been more important. And there is opportunity as we progress through this. It's just a matter of, as Kevin said, kind of pivoting and being able to take advantage of that. So I thank you guys, and thank you, Lori, and thank the entire Small Business Association of Michigan community here for giving us the opportunity. And we're here and happy to help with any questions or anything else we can do.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I do not see any in the Q&A. Just a reminder to folks, this will be posted both on Facebook and also on the SBAM website if you would like to watch it another time. Next week, we'll have a special webinar coming up. Please watch the SBAM calendar for more. So again, thank you, Troy. Thank you, Effective. And everyone, have a good day. Bye now.
Thank you.